It's that time again, guys. Thursday night comes around really quick, and I know I'm a little bit earlier tonight, but I've got a lot on tomorrow. Can I say, not looking forward to tomorrow's tattoo. Going to be a bit of a grueler, but I'm glad you guys have made it. I'm glad that the notifications went out. I know first person in was Jason. Unfortunately, he can't be here. He should be working. Then we've got Danik, the one and only cock himself. Mad Tattoos, how are you doing down in Coventry? Hope everything's well. Linda, hope you're sat down nice and comfy, coffee in hand. I know you said there's never too much coffee, but no, you might be right there. I don't think there is too much coffee. I drink far, far too much, but that's my poison. Mike from Georgia. Glad to see you made it. What I will say, subscriber chat is on. Quite simply, everybody's in there. Just go press the chat. Go press the subscribe. You can instantly join chat. These guys are in there. They're all good. Everybody's good. I have got, and I will be taking a look at some work sent in. I know we've got one sent in from Mike. At the moment, the email is at the top of the screen, so in a little while we'll be looking to see what people have sent in. Again, you can send it in to email at the top of the screen. Feel free. I will check the email down in a little while. Just I don't like to get too many in, so I can just spend a little bit more time on your work and go through it, pick through it, help you out. Not so much critique it. Well, yeah, critique it, but try to give you pointers, help see where your failings are, or where you're going wrong, or where you're struggling. That's why it's nice. That's why it's nice to have a little bit more time to look through it. What we got, Linda here? There's never such a thing. Too much. There's never such a thing as too much coffee. I'm never wrong, Andy. You'll see that next week. Why? What's happening next week, Linda? Come on, can't keep in suspense now. You're not allowed to do that. So I can hear my speakers. Let me get to. Let me turn off. That's it. Get rid of that sound. Yeah, you can't do that. You can't dangle the carrot. So we all want to know, see what's happening next week. Unless you're going on shall we say, a trip to Brazil, where you can bring us all some coffee back. Oh, right, Linda Baxter. Yeah, I know that dickhead is. Banned. Let me just find a ban button. I've just realised all that. Guys, we've got a troll. Linda Baxter. She's trolling in the. I know it is. Just trolling in the chat. So just give us some shit, guys. No problem. Just give her a load of crap. Kenneth, how you doing, buddy? Nice to see that you've made it. What's this? He clicks on round of applause for Big Andy. Big Andy. Oh, don't be telling my wife that you know all my secrets as well. She'll want to know what's going on. She'll want to know what's going on about that, Big Andy. What we got here? Mike sent 2 different flower tattoos. One with lines, black, the other with no lines and no black. Yes, I think it's your email that's coming, Mike. Again, like I say, the email is running across the top of the screen. If anybody that wants to send any work in, they can do. We will have a look at it. So we can do that. I hope the week's been well for everybody. Anybody got any news? Anything good? Or anybody got anything good coming up? Any tattooing? I know that Matt, he's been busy. Follow Instagram, Mad Tattoos. He's posting on a daily basis, so he seems to be doing okay. Nice to see the work coming up. SL, how are you doing? Nice to see you made it. Mike Parish, my wife is my best friend. Well, mine is I obviously live with her, eat with her, sleep with her, work with her, go on holiday with her, everything. So yeah, that's it, 24/7. Uh, and what's this? Linda's got. Funny enough, I have one on Thursday. Wonder who's doing that. Don't know. Could be me. Could be Stevie Wonder. Might do it. I might do it at home. Depends whether it's nice or not. If not, and that's it. Then I might just not do it. But then again, what we'll do is, yeah, Linda's in on Thursday for a tattoo, so I will film it. I will video it. It will be up on the channel as a video. So there again, you will get to see. Yeah, Stevie's better off. Better off. It's you might be better off with Stevie Wonder, to be honest. But it's funny how you booked in with me and not Stevie Wonder. Oh God, I'm losing the plot here. SL, took your advice to start doing some drawings on some paper. Cool. I'll tell you what, SL, it'd be nice to see some of your drawings as well, because I was going to see some of your tattoos. It'd be nice to see some of your artwork. You want to send some of your artwork in, you want to send some of your drawings in when they're done, or by all means, we can have a look at them. It's entirely up to you. So, as I say, again, email, top of screen. I will just have a quick look to see if anybody's sent anything else in, or we will give it a little bit longer. No, we've just got the one in at the minute. So we'll hang fire for a while before we get to that. So, none of you guys got anything interesting? You're not being up to all on. I know Danny woke up, he's doing his favourite pastime, snoozing. He's officially getting old now and needs another nap in an afternoon. Like I said, SL has taken some advice. He's on some drawings. Again, as I said, Mike, I see the. I've seen. I've had. I'll be honest with you, Mike. I've had a sneak peek at your email because it come in with a lot of others, and I wish. To be honest, I know it sounds awful. I don't really keep, but I wish I'd have kept last week's and this week's for you to have a look at something. Although, can I? I'm just wondering more. Can I get your old email back? Let's have a look. Yes. Oh, yeah. Cool. I have just think I've just moved it back for you. Yes, cool. Thursday. Right, that's cool. No, I managed to get it back because I just want to show you. Looking at last week's and looking at this week's, I just wanted to show you something. We can get a comparison going against your work last week and against your work this week. And it'll just make it a little bit easier. What we got? I know I'm stuck at work, but checking out during lunch break. I do get it because it's 5 to 9 at night here, and you guys like 5, 6 hours between us, so you're like 3 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I get it. You've got to go to work. And shall we say for your normal jobs, your regular jobs, and that's bill's going to be paid. I just got a long day on tomorrow, so I wanted to crack on, get it done, and I'm sure like I say, we'll get through it. People will jump in. Again, like I say, Mike, I've just said you can send it again. I've just managed to pull your email up, mate. That's not a problem. Let's get rid of that. But not show that on screen. Nobody wants to know what getting deposited in my bank. Um, just so I can show you from one week to another, then we can go through side by side comparisons uh, and give you some points and tips. So, I'm having a complete not a freaking brain fart tonight. Don't know what it is. Don't know what it is. But again, like I say, we will jump over. I know there's 10 of you. If you could give it a thumbs up, it just helps with the YouTube algorithm, putting it out there, trying to get channel going. I know it's a small channel, we've got a decent community. But again, it'd be nice to grow a bit more, get a few more people in, help a few more. Boom, what we got? Let's have a look. What we'll do is nobody's sending it in, so I'm gonna open this one. Mic'd up, and then we'll have a quick look at last week's again for you, Mike, and then we'll jump onto this week's, and then we can take it from there. We can get a good comparison going. And again, you will no doubt see the difference. So what we'll do is we'll smash up on screen. This is what Mike sent in last week. This is his reference. We've seen Mike's artwork. He's good at artwork with paint and everything. His actual artwork's on point. With paint, his colour theory is on point, and he has no problem on a canvas or anything else. He has self-confessed saying that tattooing full skin he finds is the hardest medium going, but his knuckling is kicking in there from the week before. Then he did this last week and sent it in, and again we said that it was a really good. It was a 90% upgrade. We got nice gradation through these colours. The blues, the black could have been maybe just a little bit saturated more than up to lines in these areas, but it would have been nice for just maybe a little bit of dark in here, and the separation, as we said, the separation of these blues where you've got the lighter blue and the darker blue. This darker blue would have been nice to be a little bit darker, because remember this is on somebody's skin, and my general rule of thumb is if you're going to pick two colours to complement each other, pick your light colour, 2 shades, at least 2 shades apart between your colours, 3 if you can. And if you're 3 colours away and you've got a light colour and you've got a dark colour, if you want to mix, if you want them anywhere in between that, you can mix in the tube, take a bit out of one, take a bit out of the other, mix it in the tube, and you'll get them fades. The unreal critique with this is it would be nice, other than a bit of a light, it would be nice for a bit of the blue to be a darker blue. Generally got some nice soft shades. Line is not bad, and we just said about these couple of little areas. Just make sure your line goes. But his attention to detail, he's not scared to needle weights or anything. So that was last week. You've all seen it. Looks pretty smooth. Looks pretty good. Other than, like I said, a couple of colour choices, but other than that, was really good. Right, let me go back one more. Boom. Justin sent one. So Mike sent one this week. Mike from Georgia working on some soft blends and some soft shading. Right. So what you've done is you've worked on some soft blends and some soft shading. That's fine. Well, just working off that, let's just quickly open that one back up. So you've worked on things. This is a nice shade. It's soft, Mike. It softly shades in. It grades in nicely. This is a nice transition through there. So got on Mike. The reference. So we're looking at a lily, and we can see bit of black, greens, yellows, dark pinks, light pinks, super light pinks, really dark green with a light green on his reference. So, and these undertones. So what we got? Boom. Small gradations are tough with tattooing. Um, yes, yes and no. Um, Again, like I've explained to you, it's all about just gently brushing it in. If you know you've got a super rich dark area, if you know that, let me just zoom in. Yeah, if you've got a super rich dark area or dark area in there and you want to pack it in, can you see my cursor here? And you want to pack that in, what I would say is go in, slow, steady, circular motion, couple of passes, boom, job's done. Um, these these areas, you could probably get away with a combination of circular motion passing for a little bit of it, and then brushing it in, gently brushing it in, different directions, brushing it in, and gently brushing the skin and working it in. As we say, a lot of people have a tendency to rush with these. So again, that's his reference. This is the piece. What I'm going to say is straight away, this is the piece. Yeah, yeah. So, what do you say? What do you guys see in the? Let me just move it out. The difference between this piece and this. Can we see anything? Have we got any comments? Anybody wants to chip in? Uh, right. So what we'll start with is you've got your bit of a dark line over here, Mike, which and a dark line, and can you go through there? And then you've got this darker area, which if you look, this could have been to be fair, mate. This could have been packed. This could have been packed with either a black or a black with a tinge of a pink in it, whichever. Um, Again, you've got a few open spots. What I can see straight away is where you're coming down here, you've got a darker spot or a darker spot. Now, when we've seen you painting, you're not scared to use colour. You'll get it on there, you'll get different colours on, you know what I mean, you get your contrasts in and everything. And you'll take, when you're painting, mate, you'll take artistic license. Again, when you're tattooing, you've got to take artistic license. I can see let's get a bit of dark in here, Mike. This could have been a bit darker. What I would say is with your purples and pinks to darken them up. If you've got a light pink, you can use a purple to darken it up. Try not to use you can use a red, a dark red, light reds to darken and lighten and keep it vivid. It's looking for a bit of soft shading, buddy. It's looking a bit this week. It's looking a bit washed out. Like we're getting a stark line through it, and I know that you've got it there. But if you look here, you've got the line there. You've got a little bit darker here, and a little bit of whip down through that. This area here, if you can see, is dark, and this area here is dark. When you started to get some of the dark in and the purple in there, you're going in the right direction. In my eyes, just want to be a bit more. Same with this. The I'm assuming that these stalks you put in which side at mag. It's just need to work like this area here, Mike. You can pack as you're going up. Yeah, as you're going up, you could pack your solid green up to up to about here, and then when you get to yourself, lighten your grip, lighten your pressure up, and gently brush out, just so that you can see work, so you can see them dot streaks going up. Then if you want in the yellow to come back down, start here, bring it back down, but then don't stop there. Run your yellow over the top of your green back down to here, mate. That way, then you're getting a blending. You're getting a blending and an overlap on it, and that's what um, that's where you seem to be missing. There, don't seem to be overlapping. And if your yellow's too far down, then and you don't like how far, you can always come back over with your stronger colour, just like you're painting. Um, it's let's go up top. What we got here? Mike, bubble. I meant lighter. I tried to go lighter with the layers. Right. Yeah. And I'm assuming that you tried to go lighter, as in pushing it in lighter. Now, that's fine. But what I'm saying is, Mike, you've also got to take, if you was painting, you would take artistic license. You would look at that and think, right, are we up? Can we see? Can we see? You look at this, the head of the lily, even though you can make out what it is, you think to yourself, a little bit of, I could go a little bit darker over here, really. I could go a little bit darker around there, a little bit of purple with your pinks. Like you've gone there, you've started getting it in, and you've started, what can I get in that now? And you started getting in, and can you see how small that is, and how whipped out that section is there? And you started getting it in. If you just run a few more passes over, or even added a bit more purple to it, to the colour, just to deepen it up, run some more passes over, it would have made a world of difference. Same in here, a little bit lost through there, as you can see. That section is darker, a little bit lighter, and it comes right into there. You've got this section up. Again, yeah, you could have just got a little bit of darkness more on that side. I think that's what it's missing. You've gone lighter, but I think it could have done with some darker colour in it, Mike. I think it could have done with a little bit darker colour. The leaves, this is your reference. If you look, you've got a super dark green here, and then you've got a really light green here. What I would say to you is, again, you've tried to literally follow it. You could have done this, took yourself, gone up there, packed all this in up to their green, and just whipped it off, whipped it off, whipped it off in that direction. And then I'd have probably gone with a green that's a little bit lighter than this. If you haven't got one that's a little bit lighter than this, use this green, but lighten it up using yellow, Mike. And then just from there, pack it in and go back in. We've got these, these stark lines where you're packing on this one. And it gets a little bit green, for want of a better word. Whereas we've got a little bit more on, lighter tone on this one, buddy. But that's that one. I just think on this one, I think you just missed it a little bit. Under here, because you see under here, you've got the greens, you've got the yellows, you've got super dark, and it's like this on this one. just in the top of it, I just think it could have done with a bit more dark shade. Now, they sent us another one, um, and this is a Japanese peony on the traditional side. So I'm hoping that we've got dark purples, light purples, orange, light orange, and again, a couple of the greens in. So, what I am going to say from off on this one, Mike, this one looks better to the eye than the lily, mate. I do prefer this one. The colours seem to be right, and everything. Again, this is what I was saying. Let me zoom in. Like, you see with this leaf here, what you've done with this leaf here, you got your dark green there, and you've like faded it out, and then got your light green on top. You haven't got a harsh line like you've put in the lily, and you've seen how much softer and better it looks. Same here. You've gone super dark up against it, up against the lily, and then out to the light. In here, you can see again really dark, and you've lightened it out, and it's a lot softer in this one. Hell of a lot softer. Now, quickly go back that one. What I'm going to say is, yeah, the line weight in some areas, the lines look all okay. They look to flow. They look to be pretty much saturated, Mike. Again, that's not really your weak point. You're pretty consistent, and you're pretty consistent with your lines and your line weight. What's Danny got? Kenneth, nice colour work, mate. Nice piece, but I think adding black shading around instead of purple would have made it pop even more. Right, I don't know whether that's purple because that looks like black whip shading to me on my screen, around the outside. But again, look at this area here. Look at this one. We've got nice saturated orange. Oh God. This one, we've got nice saturated orange. Can I get any further? And then it transitions out gently into a lighter orange through there. Here's nice. We've got a nice little transition through there. I'm not really going to say yellow looks a bit muddy, but that's false skin for your fake skin. You got a nice. This is a nice section through here. Really rich, really dark. Comes through into super light. Looking transition there. Couple of holidays where it does seem to falter, and it's not. And you guys are probably not going to see this section here and this section here, and it's not so much in the small ones, Mike. Something small. What you've got is this super saturated, this dark colour super saturated, and then you we've got the rake marks, for your needle marks. You got your dirty needle. You got your dirty needle. I just think dirty wash water or my mistake. No, you can just see your needle marks. Whereas let's go back to your reference. This reference here, if you look at it, Matt, my question to you, Mike, is if you was painting this and you was painting on a counter, this would have been, you've got these colours and they'd have been solid, they'd have been smooth, and you'd have made sure that they were, for want of a better word, packed in and wall to wall. Again, same with these colours. make sure it's not all packed in wall to wall. Same there. You may have even had add a little bit of white to it and filled that in on your canvas. But what I'm saying, just left it. This could have been used. If you haven't got the lightest purple, what you can do is fill a pot, so 3/4 with white, and then put 3 or 4 drops of the other purple in, mix it up. You've got your other colour. But in theory, you would have wall to wall, packed it in solid. Absolutely packed this in solid. Same here, I'd have packed this in solid. And when I got up to about here, just whipped it out. And then when I come from here, I'd have packed this in solid, circular motion. And when I got to here, just whip it back in over the top of the other colour. Um, and I think that's where it's lacking in some. You've got to like when you're blending, you've got to like go back over your existing colour. So your darkest colour, you can run it up and then just pack it, just pack it in like, just pack it in like that. And then when you get, don't go right up to where you want to stop, but about halfway up, and then just whip it out. Just whip it out, and you'll end up with a bit of break marks in it and openness where you're whipping it out. But that's the general idea, so that when you're packing in the other way and you come back in and you're whipping back over the top, that will fill in between, and that's where you'll get your blend. And I think that's what it is. And if you go down too far, what you can do, and what I like to do, especially with a client, if I've done all this, sometimes I'll just go back round with my original orange, and say like just from down here, just in this little bit, just like that, just like that, just a little bit, just whipped out, which will make it that back section even darker. And that's just something to think about. But again, your lines are fine. Like we say, we've just no problems there, and that's not your weak point. It's mainly like you said, your use of. I would say use of colour. I would say it's how to use the needles, how to use the needle group. It's just getting comfortable with them. If you could do this with a paintbrush after seeing your work, I would imagine that you've got no problem doing it. And you've got to think of your needles like your paintbrushes. You would pick a paintbrush to suit the gap. You will pick a needle configuration to suit the gap. And then also think of that your liners, if you're painting or you're painting a wall, your liners and your round shapes, they're for getting tight areas, outside edge, if you need to. And then the size of the magnum that you're using is like your roller for rolling the wall, just to suit your means. But again, you've got it generally on there. It's just got to keep working on the technique with the needles, get comfortable with your needle group. What we've got here. I had a pot of white, a pot of black, and 3 blends of purple. Right. Well, on here, I'll probably say that I would have had whatever this purple was here. I would have had that in one pot, and then I would have had a pot of white with maybe 1 or 2 drops of this purple in, and then you could have had something in between. And if you wanted to get it really dark, if you wanted to get it really dark in there, if you had a really, really dark like midnight blue, you could add that to your purple, which would be, again, try not to use blacks in your colours to tint and tone them because it turns them muddy. Also, let's have a look. Oh, so you've got 3 round liner, a 5 round liner, 7 curve mag, 12 curve mag. Right. So me for this piece, looking at that piece, I would have said that your 12 curve mag and your 7 curve mag sound. I would have probably used a 9 round liner and a 5 round liner mag. Done these little bits in here with 5 and done the outside with a 9. The simple reason is if I look at your reference, you see the thickness of these black lines and the width off. Same here. I just think that through the leaves, through there, I just think a 9 round liner, oh, excuse me, would give it a bit more boldness around the outside. Um, Again, it's just one of them things, picking your liner, picking your mags. It's something that repetition, and you'll get to know by looking at your stencil. Is that a 7? Is that a 3 round? No, actually, it's a 5. Get away with doing a 5 on that. I'm better off doing a 5 for it to hold. Um, and I'll use a 9 instead of a 7. It's just something you get used to. I mean, I did it yesterday, and believe it or not, I had somebody come in. I had somebody come in, and they wanted a chicken tattoo. They wanted a chicken tattooing on themselves. Anyway, it was a chicken, and it was in the groin that she wanted it putting on. So yeah, she did it. And looking at the stencil before I put it on, I would have swore down that it was a 7 round liner all day long. Once it was on the skin, I got the 7 round liner out, and I was going to go and do it. And as I got to do it, it was like, this is never a 7 round liner. It was a 9 round liner. So basically, I got a 7 round liner and broke it open for nothing. So I had to go get a 9. It's just something that you get used to, and it's something that even now you can make that mistake. Um, Boom. If you look at the bottom pedal in the yellow, I tried both 3 and 5 round liner. Uh, this one, I'm guessing, Mike. And what I will say is, I'll probably say that this is your 3, and I'd say this is your 5. But I was looking here on, thinking about looking here on this one. You've got the consistency coming through, and then pressure on your liner has got a little bit heavier, and you can actually see the saturation. There's more saturation in the line. But again, looking at that line, if that line had been that heavy all the way through, same with these, but then your outside lines had been a 9 round liner, it still looked right, mate. And you've got to get into thinking that this is like a traditional type of tattoo, and the call for heavier weight lines. This is on somebody, and you want it to last for ages. You want it to stay there as long as it can. So using that bolder line where you get more inking, it's gonna stay. It's gonna stay black for a lot longer. Your colours are gonna stay brighter for a lot longer. For the more ink that you can get in. But no, what I will say, I mean, going in the right direction. I prefer this. Oh, I prefer this one, Mike. I prefer the like I say, lotus flower peony over this one. I just think this could have just done with a little bit more darking. I just think it could have done. But what I will say, I look at that one, and I look at that one, and I get where you're going. Let me just quickly flick it back, and then I look at this one. I wish I could get them side by side actually for you, mate. And I look at this one, and whatever you've done here through there last week, and same here, and you just missed out this week with it. You've got it in a few places. You've managed to continue it in a few places, like in the oranges, and that you managed to continue the smoothness out. Yet in the darker colours, where it shows more, you're just missing that transition. Just stop short. Like I say, you can pack in from your line, from this bottom here, in the bottom there. You can pack in, get it solid, get up to, for me, I'd probably pack in up to about there, and then just fade it, whip it out, fade it out with a few passes, pack it in again, fade it out with a few passes. Then I'd come up here with a light, my lightest tone then, and I'd have packed it all in. I'd have packed all this in, and then whipped it back in over top of it. Um, yeah, SL. Fake skin, false skin. It's not the easiest to colour, honestly. It takes black. Fake skin and false skin takes black and grey better than it takes colour. My personal view is it does take black and grey better than it takes colour. Now, but I appreciate. I appreciate Mike trying this again, because we've seen his artwork, we've seen it on canvas and everything, and again, his paintings on point. And like I said, and I said last week, he's almost there. He's right on the edge of being there and getting. He's just got to figure out this blending and his needles, and then he'll be there. Then he'll have got over that sort of like last hurdle, and it's just a case then of polishing his technique. Once he's over this last hurdle, it's just a case of polishing his technique, and then he'll be flying. Yes, it does. It takes time. It's layers and layers and layers. That's the only way. Obviously, you can use the packing method. You can pack ink in so far, but then at some point you have got to start brushing it out to blend it out. Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah, bro. This guy's going places. He is, like I said, looks to the bird last week from the week before. From the week before to the last week's bird, the bird was a 90% improvement on the technique. This week, he's transferred some of the stuff that he's learned from colouring the bird in and applied it. Just missed the mark in a couple of places, and on the lily could have done with some darker pinks in magentas and that. This one's a lot better. He's still figuring out how to either solid pack, and I think it's more so much the smooth transitions and blending of the colours. And this is what I said to Mike last week. He would benefit now that if he could get somebody that could give him some one-to-one tuition over his shoulder, whether it be 1 day a week, 2 days a week, couple of hours here, couple of hours there, that in probably 3, 4, 5, say a week of doing that, 7 days, he'd be done and dusted, he'd be rocking and rolling, he'd have it, he'd be running, he'd have no problems at all. But unfortunately, because we're only doing like this like once a week, you're trying to take away what we're saying to you, trying to implement it, and then send it in the week after. And if it's not gone quite right, then you're having to do it over another week. Whereas if somebody's over your shoulder and you've done first, say you've done, let's say you've done this one, and it wasn't quite as smooth as, say, I like I said to you, right, try this in this one. So you do your next leaf, as I've explained it, right, try it again in that one, so on and so forth. That way then, believe it or not, but if with somebody over your shoulder by the time for Mike, by the time you basically got all the way around the inside of these leaves, you should be at a point where it'll probably do this section here of leaves. It's like, well, right, yeah, done this, you implement everything I've told you through these leaves, try it yourself now and then through. Let's see where you go, take it. And that's how quick it is when you've got one to one over your shoulder. Yes, Mike, you've never made no bones about that, buddy. Like I've said before, it's a hard medium I've ever tried. It is. But for you, it's only the technical ability because you've got the artistic ability. So it's only the technical ability. So that's that's what it is. Stay up's what we got. I wish I had more time to practice. Of course, it doesn't help. The bird and the flower is amazing. Yep, the bird for me. Last week's bird is last week's bird, Mike, is your benchmark. That is your benchmark, mate. So that is how you've got to judge all your work from. Because at the minute, in your colour work and your transition work, your bird's your high. Your bird is your high point, and now you've got to pin it up on your wall, put it in front of you, look at it, look at your things as you leave, as you're doing other work and that, and you've got to consistently try to get your work as good as that, if not better, every time you do. So that is your goal. That is your target from here on in, Mike. But again, mate, great work. I enjoy you sending it in. I appreciate you sending it in, and to be fair, also having the balls to send it in, Mike, because again, it's not the easiest thing when you're learning to put your work out there for everybody to look at. It's not. It takes guts. And again, I will say, uh, you guys come in. If you guys come here expecting some world class tattoo artist that's going to give you advice, this that, it's not going to be. I am just a regular, everyday tattoo artist with my own shop, enjoys tattooing day in, day out. Well, probably not going to enjoy it tomorrow, but day in, day out, and just willing for a bit of time up and help you out, try and give you some pointers. It'd be great if I could sit there in a room with you and do it. It's just not feasible, unfortunately. But I do appreciate you sending it in, Mike. Well done. Nice one for and the thing is as well, it's consistent. That is one good thing with Mike. Is consistent. Looks like he's at it on a weekly basis, and giving it his all, which will get you a long way. What we got? Dustin. I'm going to call you Dustin. I can't pronounce Jones or something. I can't pronounce before I butcher it, mate. It's all right. Dustin. Is Dustin in the chat? If Dustin's in the chat, jump on and say hi. Then I'm just not talking to a screen. I know you're there. If not, and here is a tattoo I finished this weekend on my inner knee, black and grey this time. Thanks, Dustin. Bit freaky, isn't it? So on North Pond Day, I sent a fox and bird last week. Dustin here. Oh, so Dustin, I guess that's North Pond. I guess that's your name. Nice to see you back there. Glad you could make it. Like I say, I'll just quickly get this question out. Years ago, I stuck to it, so I quit and I got back into it about 3 years ago. That's why I work on fake skin to figure out what to do. Yep, that's where to go. Get at some point. So it's just a case of yours is just the mechanics of tattooing. Mike honestly is mechanics, and you got to think about the colours and working on the skin because the skin is a different medium. So, like I say, if you pick the light blue, your next blue should be about 3 shades apart from that, and then two blues come back together. if you need to in the tube, we'll make anything in between. And then just stick it in a pot of white out, you'll be fine. So, right, this is Dustin's work, guys. What have we got? Come on, let's see what we say. Other than obviously, it's a groovy little character. We've gone inside at night, and I'm probably going to say that it wasn't the most pleasant experience to tattoo yourself at this part, but you'll be. Let's have a little bit of input. You guys have been around long enough that we'll have a little bit of input of you guys. What I'm going to say to start with, without getting in too close. On the plus sides, we've got this black in here. This is packed in nicely. Doesn't look to be any open or holidays. Same over here. This line's not too bad. It's super saturated. Comes down through there, super saturated. Few little squiggles and wobbles. It's to be expected as well when you're tattooing yourself. Tattooing yourself sucks. Yeah, I'll just link that up there for you guys. Yeah, good foundation. Like I said, takes you longer on. It does take longer to do a piece on fake skin on your skin, but on fake skin, if it goes wrong, you can throw it away. Human skin, you can't. Well, I said pretty much. Can I get in any further? Let's have a look. Yeah, I mean, we've got a few. You see, just few dusty, and some of these lines could be a little smoother. They look saturated, and they're in. I don't really. I mean, we've got a little bleak, little black block there. Looks like you've missed a little bit when you've gone back in. They're generally looking saturated, smooth over top. I don't know whether that there in there, I'll be honest, but that's the photo. It looks a little bit blown out. I don't know if it's done on purpose. Some of these lines, maybe around here, could have just been a little bit smoother, or whether that's what the design wanted it called for a wiggly line. Because oh, great. There we go. Can you see cursor up there? Yeah. Because I look up here at this hand, this round here and this curve is generally nice. It's nice down here through here, up and round here. It's generally nice. Hey, up smoke, glad you could make it. And again, this is generally good. Nice. What I do like, let's zoom out a little bit. What I do like, and I do like about this, again, you've got your black. You've got your black in here, and then you've whipped out through it into a lighter, and you've either that looks like, and then you've left a skin break. It looks like a skin break. You've got no shading. It works well. Your tattoo breathes, and for that point, it's looking the actual dynamics of it, and the darkness is looking good. Even around the belly, just this maybe could have been a little bit more saturated, but that's your choice. That's artistic choice. Could have been saturated. And then this is okay. I just, if for me, Dustin, everything's looking a little bit cool. These are a little bit. You've got these. You see these little fronds on the back of this leg. These are cool. You've got in there. This side is a little bit weak, mate. This side's a little bit weak in comparison. They're nice. You see, you got them. They're in nicely, and they're sharp. Just a little bit on your line work there, maybe a bit weak. But the main thing I would say, and again, and I know you're tattooing yourself, it sucks to tattoo yourself, it really does, is the smoothness and the fluidity of your lines. Because, like I say, you've got down here, you see a few wobbles coming through here. You got a little back to come, put down, not quite worked through there. But generally, it's not bad. This line here, I can't really see because of the glare. We've got a lot of glare on it. And I'm assuming that you've got black off it. Same with this one. The lines are looking saturated. And again, I'm not harping on, but some of the lines are smooth. Some of the lines are a little bit jittery, but that could be to actually jabbing yourself with it. You got put a nice little bit of shading in around the eyes, just to give it as if it's got that bulge and that recessed from up there. I mean, when you zoom out, look at it from here, um, you can tell what it is. It works. Could there be areas that neaten up? Yes, it can. But I don't think it's particularly bad. It just needs areas to look at to tidy up. E.g., your lining for being smooth. You know, being able to get a decent stretch, or being able to get a decent stretch on that area to get your skin tight so that your needle bouncing. That's one of the most crucial things. Get a good stretch so your needle's not bouncing, and match your hand speed and your machine speed together for the size of the needle that you're using. And just remember, the smaller the needles they are, they don't need as much pressure to go in through the skin. The bigger the needles they are, bigger grouping, you'll need a bit more. That when you jump up onto a round shader, if you're going to line with a round shader, they're probably going to need a bit more pressure to go through skin, as well as a good angle rather than being straight down. You need a good angle so that you're not trying to get 14 needles through your skin all in one go, because they'll just bounce off. But no, it's not so bad. Keep working, keep practicing. I mean, you've got to run out of skin zone here, buddy. So I don't know whether you've done any work on fake skin or anything like that that we could have a look at. But it'd be nice to see some more stuff. If you can just, or even ask somebody else, just get a bit better angle, because I've just lost this section here to light dusting. But it would be nice just to have, or even take two photos of it, one this direction, then maybe one from other. Because when I zoom in, and I'm assuming it's getting just, it looks a bit hazy, like it's blown out there, and I don't know whether it's shading or it looks a bit blown out in these fingers. That's all I'm saying. But other than that, you're going in the right direction. Not doing too bad. Just keep practicing, mate. Just make sure lines. Make sure you keep getting consistent, and I mean consistently consistent as well with the lines. We all have good days. We all have bad days. But you've got to try and eliminate. You've got to try. It's shading in the fingers, right? No problem. That's it. I just couldn't. Oh, I just couldn't make out. It, like I say, if I zoom in and you look at it from there, just with the angle and the light on, it looks a bit bluey. That's all. Oh, that's a fun little piece, isn't it? And I'm assuming it's on your own leg. So for the few little falters that it's got in it, it's not hurting everybody, because it's, again, it's on your own leg. But eventually you're either going to run out of skin, mate, or you're going to run out of accessible places for you to tattoo. Like I say, just fake skin, false skin, anything like that. But if you are, it might be worth a try running some liners and some stuff over false skin, just to get your consistency. You know, we're getting them in and getting used to them. That just seems to be mainly where it is, especially with like a couple of pick up and put down points, making sure that, because make sure that when you pull and you can't go further, that if that's your line and you're pulling it in like that, you stop there, that when you come back in, you don't go in and start there because you'll end up with like a dot. But it's like you need like a runway, it comes down, you'll trail across there, and you'll be back into full depth just as you get to end at line and carry your line on. That way, then you'll get smooth transition through your line. But again, I appreciate sending it in. A couple of things just to look for when you're doing your next one. Again, try and get a really good stretch, and you got one hand on your own leg, and you try to get your other hand with your machine in. But no, I appreciate you sending them in. Just like an aeroplane landing. Yep, that's all it is, Danny. Just like an aeroplane landing. I see so many people that stop the line and they think, oh, see what I'll do is I don't want to come back up here and transition it back in just in case I miss the line when I get in. So they're going back in at end of line and they end up the back in and then go, and in that hesitant spot, they dump a load of ink in skin, and you end up with a line that comes down. It's got like a bit of a dot in it, and then goes down. Whereas you'll get used to running down your line and just ever so slightly touching skin, and you will see your needles start to leave a trail of ink, even though they're not puncturing the skin. So then you see them get to leave a trail of ink on top of line, and you think, yeah, I'm in the right place. And then as you get to end of line, you can dig back in and go and carry on. So, we got next. Oh, Kenneth. Right. The monkey is something I just did last night before bed. My wife couldn't guess what my concept was. Let's see if someone will guess it. Right. Challenge is thrown up. The challenge is thrown up, so we've got to try and guess the concept. Please keep in mind that it's not final in any way, just stuff I am doing to get myself back in the droid. This is just out of my head, no reference. Right, cool. Self-portrait. I'm going with self-portrait. Hey, Pommy, how you doing? I guess Pommy's either up, ready to go to, or is back from work. I don't know what time it is in the Langdale. My problem is when I go back, I double line it. Yeah, this is something that you get used to. Like I said, wait. Yeah, I totally get it. Like I said, as you're coming down, you're not going to be able to say it because I'm not going to be able to do it. What I'm saying is, as you're coming down, like I've said, if you're coming down and you're drawing a line like that down, and you stop. The problem is when people go in there, they'll start there and go down, and you'll end up with that double bubble spot. So what I'm saying, if you start up there, and I can't see it, and you just literally back up there, and you just ever so slightly hover over the line with your needles, it will start to drop ink on your line, in the line. And if it's in the right place when you get to the end, then you can go back in and pull the rest of the line down. Although it's just practice, otherwise you will get a double bubble on your line. It's just something that I find helps me, transitioning in and out of lines. What have I lost? Pommy, my problem is when I go double line here, Pommy. Yeah, good. Day off, Pommy. Nice one. Got day off. Nice to hear you got some time off, because every time you usually get on, you're either dashing out to work. Yeah. SL, wife literally said self-portrait, lol. First thing that comes to my mind. Anybody else? Uh, says, I would say young people. No focus, just saying. Have I missed something? Mara, how you doing? Glad you could make it. I mean, it's a cool concept. It's a cool concept. Is that what I will? And when it's done and you tweak it and you lift it out depending on which way you want to go around with it, like I said, it is a cool concept. Um, right. So you've used the concept of hear, see, say no evil, right? But using modern concepts instead of just hands across. Right, right. So I'm guessing this section, this section's for obviously hear no, stuffing his gob with a verb is speak no, say no evil, and see no evil. Is that fun? That is fun. Cool concept though. Cool concept, and it's one of them concepts that if you could get it down, get it like, get it transitioned into a stencil, the it would actually probably make a really cool title. Probably would make a cool title. I may have been on morphine at the time. Yeah, I think it would probably make a cool title. But what I will say to you, I appreciate you taking the advice you're going on for drawings. I'm going to put reflections of Facebook and Twitter in his eyes on the screen. Cool. Just going forward, myself, and just a bit of friendly advice what to do. This sort of stuff's cool. Let's see this as well. Put it in your portfolio. Make sure you do reference stuff as well. SL, e.g., like we said, animals, faces. Make sure, even if you don't want to tattoo them, you don't want to do a tattoo. Make sure you draw some faces because they're important. Animals, plant life, flowers, birds, this sort of stuff, traditional sort of stuff. Mix it up. Um, draw stuff from reference. If you can draw stuff from out of your head and compose stuff, great stuff. Hey, Vasilis, how you doing? Long time no see. Where you been hiding? If I remember right, is in Greece. I could be wrong. Couldn't look a right nugget. But long time no here. Glad you could make it. But yeah, I mean, but out of your head, it's a cool design. I'll, I'll be honest, SL, I can't draw. I can't draw direct from memory. I can draw from reference. No problem. I can compose. I can get references, compose it, and then draw it. No problem. Just straight out of my head. If you says to me, draw this, I'm lucky with a set of headphones on. Not a chance. I'll still be sat there. But again, pretty cool. And got a pretty cool art style, bit of cross hatching and everything. I don't know if that's just your style or whether you've got other styles of work. Do you blend? Do you do soft shading, soft blending with charcoals or graphite? One thing I will say as well is when you're putting your portfolio together, try put some colour work in there, mix it up, put some charcoal in, even if you heavily lean towards charcoal drawings because you prefer to do them. I still would say just have a go at putting some colour in there, but you can always see towards it. It's pretty good. Nice concept. It'd be go for you to send some more artwork in, and send us this in when you've got it finished. Um, yeah, I'd like to see this one finished, and be nice to see because as you're putting a portfolio together, it'd be nice to see your work as you're going along and what you're putting together in your portfolio. That'd be really nice. So that's cool. Is that Stephen? Getting there, taking the advice on board, get your portfolio together, and then it's a case of then knocking on doors to try grab somebody that'll give you an apprenticeship. We've got another one in. Kenneth, what we got? Done the tattoo, done the tattoo machine about 6 months ago. My wife and the woman butterfly last night during a thunderstorm. Right. What we got? Uh, yes. I see you used my first skin tattoo for the post. Great job, everyone. Laughing. Yeah, yeah. It's, I've seen them that you sent through. They're all over. I've I've used some of them before actually, Pommy, but I quite particularly liked that you'd sent through. I thought, right, okay, I'm going to use that. Oh, right, guys. So we have got Kenneth here. This little tattoo machine 6 months ago. What do we reckon? I'm going to leave it there first. Excuse me. First impressions, bang, away you go. Let's get some in the chat. Oh, what we got here? 19, well, it's 1984 year I graduated from high school. 1986, I left high school. 86. Rather 86 or 87. Either 86 or 87, I graduated. I'm glad to make it this time, even this late. Every time I am too late to the party, I'm watching it afterwards. No, it is. It's nice to have you in live chat. Like we say, anybody who wants to jump in, everybody's okay. Just press the subscribe button on the channel, jump in chat. Everybody's friendly. They welcome you in, and no problems. Mike, have fun with it. Try tattooing it on fake skin. Yep. I'm assuming you're on about Stephen's work. It's cool. 1963, Andy. God, was it that long ago, Danny? Did I? So, Danny, that mean I graduated high school 2 years before you, 2 years after you? What, you're 61? You graduated in 61? Not right sure there. You didn't tell me. Cool tat. I like the tattoo machine. Nice job. Yes, I'm probably in agreement. Let's zoom in. And again, look, looking at these lines around here, no problems. Smooth, sweeping. This is a tattoo line. It hasn't been edited, it hasn't been messed around with. This is probably what it looks like in skin. You get good lines, you get bad line, you get some, you get on a smaller needle like he's done here. It's when you've done it, it's probably going to show up a bit more shaky. When it's healed, it'll be fine. Black punched in, bulletproof. Black punched in, bulletproof. This blue, it's in there. It's not going anywhere. It ain't going anywhere. This blue. Nice way. It's just done that little bit of shading, not over the top for around the grip. Just got this little reference. I even like the bit of script you've got in it, the style that you've done. Probably the only comment there, and this has been super nitpicky. this has been so super nitpicky, Kenneth, is that if you look at writing when you do an I, you do a T, you do an M, your T, your M are lowercase, your E's lowercase, so your actual top of your E would be in line, like that cross piece and the top of the M. You know what I mean? It's that's and that's being petty in it, but that's just things that some people look for. I like the nine. I like the blue. I like the reference of the actual tube and even the reference for the zoom rating. Can we go, look, even this little bit, super sharp, tiny, little bit for needle, got white in it, just got a line around there as if to look like a bit of a puddle. It is what it is. It's a banging little, it's a banging tattoo. Looks well, cleanly done. Uh, Lines are in solid, colours in solid. What's to complain about? There's nothing to complain about. It's just nicely done. Again, right. So this one is done last night in a thunderstorm. Zoom in. So look. Let's have a look at this. Generally, it's all good. Just got a little section there to pick up and put down. Round here, it comes down. Come up on screen now. Comes down. This line actually comes. You can see it comes from thin. I don't know the angle of the photo. Probably let us know in chat. It's the angle of the photo comes down and gets wider, which is all good. Um, it's all good. Hey, Bradley, how you doing? But if that's the case, reading that, I think I think you guys probably see my criticism on this black in this body and this black in this ring. I'm sorry, it's not in. It is not in. It's green. I can see patches through here. Now, if you're going to put it in, and I wish I could get it in a bit closer because we can see up there. You can see the line, plain as day. That's a black line around it, black line through here all the way around. Same, through there. This black on this side of the butterfly is not punched in. Same with body. You really want to see if they were punched in. You may have seen them a little bit, but you wouldn't have seen them as dark as what you can see these lines, especially if they were punched in right. That is the weak point on that. The token, I don't mind the token bit of shading and the graininess in it. We got it, Danny. Those are the kind of piece to do from fake skin to real skin. Looks great, not too complicated, and use the knowledge you learn on fake skin and apply it to real skin. Which one are you on about? Are you on about the Done it. Max gone. Realistic needs very soft shading for lips and chin. Yes and no. It depends on what style you're going for. The one before, right? No problem. Because I quite like this drag mark effect. It's carried it on through. It's carried it on through there. This area that knows the line in the style. I've seen this done. So around the fingers. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. That fingernail and that fingernail that would have more transition across like that. But that's okay. I'm more bothered Me personally, I'm more bothered about this black not being punched in, and it's more like it's laborious, it's slow, it's miserable. Packing black, packing colour, but it's something that's got to be done, and you can plainly see that this area through here and through there, it's not black. It ain't black. Um, it's like a grey. It needs really punching in. Some of these areas on the bottom look a bit more punched in than the top, and same with the body. That wanted to be punched in, really, really punched in black. Again, it's not too bad. Lines, again, generally not bad. These strands of hair, if I said anything, they look a bit they look a bit scratchy. They may have been a bit nicer putting, clean lines. But hey, I mean, overall, the look of it's okay. Did you go in and fix it? Yes. Um, like I said, I'm quite a fan of this shading and going back here, it's got the shading in there, shading in there. I just think that if this body had been waxed in black as it should be, and all this had been properly packed in black, it had taken this to that extra level and made it look so much better. I just think that that's because when you look at boom, you look at this, that's black, that's black, that's it. This colour is in, that is super saturated. That's it. That black is in. You can see it from a mile off, and you can see it. It's in. It's bulletproof. You go to this one, and that should be black there. I think that should be black there, and that black should look like that, and it doesn't. That's why I'm saying it looks weak there. The lines. Uh, what we got here? Right, you're the butterfly guy. Maybe I can try a butterfly again. Yep, try a butterfly. Listen, you can have so much fun with a butterfly, man. You can have them square on if you want. What I will say to you is, and what I will look at, and you know exactly what I'm going to say, butterflies, and if you're doing a full colour butterfly, butterflies are symmetrical. One side, from one wing across to the other wing, butterfly wings are symmetrical. So make sure what you do on one side, you do on the other. Bradley's jumped on it. And then colour work, I would say, to have a nice butterfly, nice colour butterfly, I would probably use about use two blues, two purples, two pinks, two greens. I will probably and some yellows. I will probably set up about 10 colours for a butterfly. 10 little pots. Because when I'm doing a butterfly, I use the little pots because you can get the large ink caps, the medium ink caps. I think the large ones are a 16 millimetre. I think the medium ones are a 13 millimetre, and my small ink caps are a 10 millimetre. I'll probably set up 10 colours and then a couple of whites um, to mix in and mix out with, lighten tones, and do a butterfly and just go nice and steady. And I'll work from one side to other both wings as I'm going up to get them as even as you can. Better get symmetrical. Oh, yeah, you better get symmetrical. And the body goes from right down the side to make you stand out for the wings. Now, for me, Pommy, I'd be the other way. What I'd want is that section there, buddy, jet black. That section there to be jet black. This section to be jet black. The body then to be jet black, but then either sculpt the body like this, like a caterpillar type effect, and come off, and get some little white sections in over its back to do it. I'll get it in black and then come down the center of its back with white. Um, I'd probably like to do it that way. Um, what's that? Kenneth Brawley, we was pushing for time at the top, but I'll get back to it soon. Yeah, you just need to get Kenneth. That just needs punching in, mate. It just needs punching in. It make a world of difference. Get us in super black. That's what it will make a lot of difference. Actually, like I said, but compared to that black you've punched in there, and what's that one? Compared to that black and the colours that you've punched in there, you can do it. You can do it. You can punch it in, but you just haven't. You just, unfortunately. So I think yes, it will benefit from you going back and getting it sorted. What we got? Yeah, get it symmetrical or under the pistol. Yeah. The flower side of the butterfly could use black behind the petals, make it pop. Let me get back across here. Bum, 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 bum. I don't know because I get what you're saying, but I don't know because if you look, if he's going to do that, he started putting some token trading in there. And for me, if he just puts a bit in there like he has done, and continued it through, being just a little bit darker. Um, but this outer line maybe just being a little bit more black saturated, I think it'd have worked. I think it would have worked. But again, like I said, the biggest thing is the black not saturated, the black in this wing in saturated. Once you get that and revisit it, it'll make the world of difference. Yes, it's got a tattoo machine. This one, cool as fuck. Yeah, mate. Looks well, done well, clean. It's clean, cleanly put in, nice. And again, nothing particularly wrong with this. Just got some saturation issues. And again, on this side, maybe just want a little bit of something like um, like Stay Up says, maybe a little bit of something just to try and separate it all out a little bit, um, just to make it, but nothing too much. Maybe just go around, maybe just make sure that little bits of black where there needs to be black is in. Other than that, pretty cool, pretty cool design. Just this saturation just needs doing. That blue, Stay Up, that blue is so nice. Yeah, it's nice and rich, is that blue. Nice and rich. And like I say, look at this black, look at this blue. It's in. It's not overworked, it's not chewed up, it's saturated. Cool. Let's go down here. We got here. You can even say you tattooed a masked cartridge and Andy will like it more. Shut up, dickhead. Tattooed a masked cartridge. Oh my god. No, no. My biggest pet butterflies is being lazy with them. One colour, two colour butterflies. It's like even one colour or two colour butterfly. When you look at them, you go study them, and you look at them. They'll have about 6 or 7, if not more, variations of that tone. You look at mine enough. Might be a red butterfly, but you look at it, it'll have bits of pink in it, it'll have bits of brown in it. It might have a purple tinge to it. But people just get so lazy when not putting putting ink out for it and working through it. Uh, yeah, cool. Send another pic after work on it some more. Yeah, that'll be sound. That'll be sound. Have we got any more? Any more? Nope. Look at that, guys. We're out. We're off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're all right. No bad. Let's add that one on stream. Put my ugly cam on. We're an hour and a half in. So, anybody got any questions? Anybody want to know anything? I mean, it's 13 your screen. If you want to give it a like or a thumbs up, not most of you have. I appreciate it. It's 13 watching. Yeah. Any questions? Anybody need any help with anything, or see whether I can help with anything? If not, we're all done because we've got no more working. We just got to have a little bit of banter, and we can take this out of Danik and everybody. What we got? Stay up. Hopefully, I'll have some more next week. I have to order some different colours. Ones and are not right. So, I mean, that's fair enough. What I will say, if you're ordering colours, I mean, most of us have done it, and you've probably done it yourself. You probably do it yourself. You order 40, 50, 60 colour tones, and half them go out there before you use them. And you'll pick all your key colours, and you think, if I mix that with that, if I put them together, I mix them together, I can get any colour I want. And then you'll eventually whittle it down to your majority of key colour, and that way then you get comfortable with, and then you go to colours that you can mix up and use, and you can virtually get any result that you want. Has anyone used hollow or empty round liners? How do they compare to round liners? No, I haven't. I've heard people about them, and what most people sort of like say, it's like, well, not much difference to lining with a round shader. I don't see. You, well, you got to remember not to boggle your mind with all these cartridges, all these colours. You've got to condense it, get it down to a key of cartridges, key number of colours. Otherwise, you're going to spend so much time burning your brain out on what to use on each type. Oh, I can say in my cupboard, you go look at my cupboard. I have I have three types of mag cartridge. I have a 7, a 15, and a 25. They're all size 10 book pins. I use them for everything. Black and grey colour, the lot. Then my liners, I have more liners than anything. I have 3s, 5s, 7s, 9s, and 11s. I also have some 003s for fine work. And then the only thing after that I've got, I have a 9 round shader and 14 round shader cartridges. That's all the cartridges I use. And I just keep it down to that. Makes life simple, and that's what it's all about. Keeping simple. Hopefully, I'll have some more next week. Got some more colour, Brother Pritchard. Does anyone you know? Pommy, I have one to send in if I have time now. Send in. What? Work? So that you can send it in. No, I'm just going to get down through these, Pommy. If not, I'll hold it over till next week anyway for you, buddy. Mike, thanks for the critique. Look, you're welcome, Mike. And the frustrating thing with you, I can see that you are literally just There, you're right on the edge, and you just need that extra little like push or extra bit of coaching to get you there. And I'll say it again. That's why, and I know we're tough. If we lived around the corner from you, I'd have done it myself. But we don't, unfortunately. I could have gone over your shoulder and gone, look, and virtually guarantee you that we're 5 to 7 days. And I don't mean back to back days, just 5 to 7 days. Somebody over your shoulder pointing it out straight away, you'd have got it. And it's like, and as soon as I start showing you and you've done it a few times, you're like, oh, yeah, why did I think of that? Why didn't I do it that way? But that's how close you are. That is how close you are. Kenneth, you're welcome, mate. I enjoy seeing you work. Again, I enjoy seeing more of it. Been asked to see the one finished in and set back. Bradley, lovely to see you. I'm glad you could stop by. Stay up. Damn, I did a butterfly last time. So we all doing butterflies for Andy. But you don't, honestly, if you do them, you know what I'm going to look at. Symmetrical. Veins in leaves, the dissecting veins in the leaves, if they're too fat, honestly, it's a serious bugbear. Um, Butterflies are delicate creatures, so they've got to look delicate. The use of colour, being a lazy ass and only using 3 or 4 colours, it's get them colours in there, get good reference. Don't, if you're going to do one, instead of doing it this big, literally, do yourself a butterfly. It's easier to do if they're that big. If they're 4 or 5 inches in diameter, they're a lot easier to do. Stay up slow. Right, let's go for it. Butterfly challenge, boys. Yep, yeah. Sounds like fun. Yeah, everyone. Yeah, you want to do them and you want to send them in, I'll do them. I mean, I really, I really like looking at them. I really like seeing your creativity, but they've got to be creative. They've got to be bright. They've got to be colourful. Honestly, if you're going to send it in and there's 3 blues in it or 3 pinks in it, fat veins or whatever, just keep me sent. And it's like, I'll be pissed. As somebody's just putting this shit out. I mean, it'd be a good one to have a look at. Derek's put Andy was rippers in your ass, or Bradley's put, where you go, get up. Andy will be just pissed the whole street. Might not be. There might be all stalkers that come in. Right, yeah, would be great. But all we'll say to you is it's easier to do a bigger one than it is a smaller one because you can get more colour in, they will look brighter. And again, key to making your colours look brighter, making sure your black is saturated, making sure it is punched in. Get a really good reference of a really good looking butterfly off Tinterweb. Stencil it and do it. Doesn't even, something, doesn't even have to have a drop. You just face on like that, but just really well done. Really clean, really bright, really good use of colours. And I think they look stonking. I honestly think they do look stonking. Um, Danica, I'll do a cop with butterfly wings. As long as the wings are symmetrical, mate, and brightly coloured. Let's see you send it. Stay up. I have the best idea. I hope I remember. Well, hope you remember to do it. Or you've got another idea that you remember to do. Yep. Like I say, if it's got butterfly wings on it, whether it's a cock or not, you'll still get ripped a new one. If it's not right. Like I'm doing realistic. Cool. cool. That'll be interesting to see. That will be interesting to see. Again, heads up if you do any colour, and I think butterflies should be colour. Black and grey ones suck. Um, they're all right in the place, but if you're going to do a big one, even in even if you go out in real life and you see butterflies are all brightly coloured and everything, so you want a fucking black one, but hey, that's what they do. Jesus, put Andy's face on the butterfly cartoon style. Oh, what's a sad, saggy old bastard's face in butterfly wings? Don't want my face on it. You guys don't even want it on your screen, but you turn up every week. Let's be right. Even I'm on my third bloody camphor webcam. After a while, they don't like my face and lens breaks. Let me just check some up. Let's get them off there. Right. But yeah, you know what I'm like for them. If you want to send them in and you want to do them, you can do them. Bradley, that's it. That's another cock on the stream, isn't it? You know what I mean? We've got another one. Give me some shit. Why do I do this? I can't help you and I get abused. I just got one of them faces that just says abuse me. It's geriatric butterfly. Well, what you could do, if Danik did it right, then according to Danik, if you had one wing, and I know it wouldn't be symmetrical, but it'd be balanced in Danik's side because you'd have my geriatric face on the other one, and you'd have my nurse on the other one saying it's time for you to go. According to Danik, wouldn't it? But it'd be balanced. It won't be symmetrical, but it'd be balanced. Been a cop my whole life, and I can't help it. Don't worry about it, but I want to be the same. I don't think most of us have at some point. But it's when you can be a thing and just laugh, be a cock and just laugh about it, innit? Not take it too serious. It's all in good fun. It's all in good fun. But yeah, so it looks like it's Butterfly Week next week then. Let's see how many. Let's see how many people can will brave that one and send it. Because I'll go fine tool comb. So you know the criteria. Let's see whether you're brave enough. Let's see whether you guys are brave enough to send it in. Well, I'm going to run for a couple more minutes, guys, and then I am going to jump off because, believe it or not, I have got this sucker to do tomorrow. Let's see if I can show you. Let's get on screen. Share. To screen. Share. Well, this is my tattoo for tomorrow. If you guys can see it, I've got to tattoo something like this on a guy's arm. Great. This is on top of his forearm. Smoke, are you off, bro? Nice to have you in. Take care. If I have time in my schedule, I'll mostly try to do it now, no problem. Take care, have a go. Yeah. It's what we've got here. Because we love you, Dave's watching. when he can. He's probably a little bit of the engagement. Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, I think we jumped to an hour now because it used to be 5 hours of TV and it's 6 hours now. He's moved out. It makes it weird. And all the talking to him Sunday with the stream Sunday, and obviously now he's not working on his own properties in the shop. He's got pros and cons which he likes, and there's some other stuff, but it, just having family time and everything and building your business up, it all takes time. So it's just keep banging. He's just got to keep banging away at it. So we've got Kenneth Knight, yeah, looking forward to this. It's in black. Basically, man, it's got to be all in black and grey like this. You want the orange and this orange lamp with a bit of the glow, yellow glow, emanating out further on it. Yeah, it's. I do. We've done a New York bottom half and a bottom half of his arm and inner half and everything. I managed to let him, because we're all in black and grey, and I managed to let me put the old school New York cabin in yellow, in colour, like you see in them pictures, and he really loved it. And then it ended, went on, he wanted some more in the back of his arm, New York City, old license plate in yellow. So now he wants this, which is old school, old London, and he wants the bit of yellow out of there, putting in that. It's right. Look, stay up. You say, damn, I wish we could do that patience for details. This is my reference. This is my reference. Cut down. You've got to remember that when we was going, you see this lot. Oh yeah, some of this lot, you are not going to get every single detail in that because it's just not going to translate that out. So what you've got to do is got to pick your key features and do it that way. Because if you'd be there forever if you were trying to get every single part. Because what I've done is as well, this glow. You see how this glow? You can see this building in background. I've actually made this glow on this emanate further. So I've played it a bit flight, emanates further, so the actual yellowy glow comes right around here. So I get some of all this stuff from back. You just got these windows and top half and sky, and then I've just got to work it foreground. And this road's dark and he's dark, so that shouldn't be too bad. But you just got to tame it down, dumb it down a little bit, because otherwise you'll never get it all in. Bradley, you should show 5 times video on your channel, but that would be dope. I am doing it, is getting videoed. Whether he does it in one sitting or it gets completed in 2 sittings, and I get it roughed out, and I get going through it and then come back to get it done. So it might not get put straight away. I will wait till it's all complete, splice it all together, put back in. This guy's really good. He's just the first one done 4 weeks. If he does it in 2, he'll have the first sitting done 4 weeks and be back in. He's a really, really, really good client. This is a very hard title, lots of blends. Yeah, yes and no. Like I said, I've dumbed it down a little bit. I will be running 2 machines tomorrow. I will be running the Taunt for the hard area, but I also will be running the Bronx 312 for the softer areas on probably a 2.9 mil stroke, maybe 3.2, depending on how his skin takes it. Yeah, Bradley, you're right. Look, this would be great for a whole back piece, maybe. Yeah, because that's the full piece that he's taken. That is a full piece that he's taken from. So for it to be on a back piece, you know what I mean, you could come down, bring it in. You could come down, bring it in and add more of it on there. It is actually trimmed it's actually trimmed for top of arm is this one. Uh, yeah, but like I say, it is getting video. Cool. I've no doubt. I bet you can. Um, it's, I won't say that it's going to be easy, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a long time sat there. But again, if I tell you, I don't even know if I can get it up. That's that thing. Boom. Where's my Where's my stencil on here? I think. Oh, cheers, look. Thank you. Can I get that one? So, look at that. Mage bean. So that's not my stencil. I can't even get my stencil up, to show you guys how I did it. But again, good fun, good settings. This is in colour. Obviously, I might look black and grey on yours, but it is actually colour pieces. So I have already converted it to black and grey. But again, that is what I'll put on tomorrow, guys. But I will video it, and we will get it done. Would have been nice to do this in them colours. It'd be so much easier to do them in them colours, as a tattoo. Would have been more detail, more detail in it with colours because separate the cells. But that's it. Well, if we've not got anything else, I know we've got only a few of you guys left now. So, unless anybody else has got anything to say, they've got anything to add, or they want to ask any questions, I am going to close out. Hopefully, we'll be back maybe back at the weekend. If not, I think Dave was saying we're trying to do more. We have something on this week. But if not, I may try to do something Sunday night. I'm not right sure. Just depends on how I feel. Boom. Right. I don't know how you do the fog, but I guess you would use a mag to blur the background on. Yeah, I mean, what I will probably do to start with, if I'm doing fog and I'm doing sky, I work from the lightest tone. And then to the darkest tone because generally there's more lighter tones and darker tones, so I'll do it that way. So let me just quickly back up. Screen share. Right. So what I'm going to do here, because it's more blurred out. This will be. I will rough this out through here. We'll probably miss second light or maybe third light tone, rough it out, and then rough it down into my second lightest tone, and then I can. A lot of this is going to be yellow around here, but I'll come through with a darker tone, maybe third darkest tone through there, and then just blend it out gently through there, just gently, and then this will be probably my lightest tone. Probably tomorrow, I'm maybe going to run a one drop. I'll just come out of there, and just blend it over once it's dark, blend it over. But it'll be done gently with. Obviously, I'll be using Bronx. I'll be on 2.9, so I'll go ever so gently, just gently brushing it in. These, it's just a case of again following this lot. I'll get this in with a mid tone, on the back there, and then this will be slightly dark, as you can see, go over the top of it, a little bit lighter in there, lighter tones. Just let it run itself. I can do bottom at Big Ben here in the second or third darkest tone, which may be a 4 drop, and then I can just go over it with a lighter tone, because going over it with a lighter tone will naturally lighten it anyway. You'll see what's behind it, but it'll naturally lighten it. So that's my thought process at the minute. May all change when I get going and I see how his skin's working, but that is my thought process at the moment. Uh, so, like I said, that is if that is all, guys, I am going to call it a draw. We've been running for we've been running for an hour and 55 minutes. I will be in 2 hours. Boom. Would you use our light tones to map it out first, then build? No, I'll basically start at bottom and put my dark tones in first. On the road and on the man himself, work out to buildings because of how it is on his arm, and if his arm's that way and I'm still here working on it, and I'm naturally right-handed, I will literally start at this bottom corner, start roughing in. So put my darker tones in up through there, across here, across here, so that I'm bringing my hand across it, not rubbing stencil. I'll put my darker tones in. That will then, I'll put my blacks in. That will then allow me to, once my black's in, that will then allow me and tell me how light I need to go with the rest of the tones after that, like which one on my mid-tones I need to use, and then how light I need to go on my light tones. Plus, what I will do as well is I'll also have a load of white pots out, small white pots, little 10 milli cups of white pots. And if I need any bright highlights and white, I'll put them in. I'll put them in as I go along, and then when it's all done and cleaned, what I'll do then is I get some fresh white out to get the really bright white highlights. I'll just go back and put them in, and that'll work. But I usually just start working my way through it. I don't bother lining it. I just work my way through it as I go. It will be all I will use on it, which will make. I'll apply the stencil. I will literally give him 15, 20 minutes for that stencil to dry. And then all I'll use as I go through it is I use like a cocoa butter for the lubricant on the skin, and other than that, it'd be distilled water, no green soap or anything. Distilled water, that way then green scope starts moving stencil, where distilled water will keep it out a lot longer than using green soap. So yes, I'm glad you could drop by, mate, and same to you. Hope you enjoy the rest of your week too. Bye. What's happening here? It's freaking out. Would you use your light to map it out first? No. Have I lost? I thought I'd say something. I meant on each section. Oh, there. I meant on each section. No, as I go up, I generally use my blacks. First. What I will say to you is, if I feel that my stencil's come off and I need to map it out, I will map it out on my lightest tone. Like I said, if I think that my stencil's not going to take much more stick before it starts coming on key points, I would go over and map it out like the lightest tone, maybe a 1 drop or whatever. Then the fact that you're not going to lose it's going to be there no matter what. So it is a thing to do, but I try not to go around, map it out and line it, because if you're going around and mapping it out and lining it, then you're wiping. and then you've also then just given your stencil a load of stick from wiping. Whereas if you start at the bottom, start going through it, start working your way through, you're completing more, and you're not going up over stencil wiping off it all the time. Just going up, just wiping, just going up, wiping, and then you're working it between. I generally map out what blacks, but then I also work all my tones. Try and work all my tones at once and nearly get, I would say, get a 70% complete or 75% complete on first pass. And then when you've got up through it, clean it all down, and then I can go in and just fine tune areas up, down areas up. Uh, right, Pommy. Yeah, you sent a couple in, no problem. I'm just about to close the stream down now, Pommy. It will be, I'll hold them up, and it will be next week. I will hold them up for you. Next one that we go live, I'll have a look at them for you. I've just been on. Oh, I said it was an hour and 55 minutes. Now 2 hours and a minute. So it is time. I need to get some beauty sleep on these old chops. Um, but I appreciate. No, like I say, no problem. I appreciate you sending them in, Pommet. I will keep them. I will look at them next time. Bradley, I appreciate you dropping in. With that, what I'm going to say is I'm going to close the stream out. I appreciate you all being here, even the diehards, right to the end, right to the end. And I will look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Stay safe. See you all soon.